You're watching Moments with Jill Walker. Today, I'll be discussing the subject called. That is what it's called. Called. We are called as Christians to get the gospel out. And I want to sort of reenact how I was called to do this devotional called Moments with Jill Walker. You see, I didn't really want to be on Facebook. I really didn't. A lot of my friends and other family members were on Facebook and they talk about it, and I thought to myself, well, that's fine for them, but I'm just not interested. I really wasn't. Then my daughter talked me into being in a pageant about 4 or 5 years ago. I thought, I'm too old for pageants. She said, Mom, I'll find one for your age. And she did. And surprisingly enough, I won. And the director said to me and to the other queens that won, well, now you'll have to be on Facebook. I thought, I don't really want to be on Facebook. So I let Abby kind of manage it within just the queens. It wasn't really public. It was a private kind of Facebook. And then one of my former parishioners who moved away asked me to do Facebook Live so she could see me speaking at a ladies' luncheon in Danville, Illinois. It was a noon luncheon in Danville, Illinois. And so I did. And I realized on the way home from Danville back to our home in Mattoon, what an opportunity Facebook must be. So I did start doing the live services on Facebook, but I thought that would be enough. God wasn't done yet. You see, this wasn't what I really wanted to do on my own. But one day on Wednesday night, I was hanging up my coat right in this very closet. And I've never heard God's audible voice, but I heard him speaking to me on the inside in my spirit, not audibly, but as I was putting my coat away, and it was in February or March, about a year and a half ago, and as I was putting my coat away, his presence came so strong on me that I just had to lean my head into the closet and just kind of stand there like a statue. Just stand there and listen as he spoke to me. And he told me something like this. I don't remember the exact words, but he told me, Jill, I want you to start doing devotionals. You see, my husband had said, why don't you do devotionals? I said, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. But when God spoke it to me as I was putting this coat away, and I had to lean my head physically into the coat, and God was speaking to me saying, time is running out. Mike's right. I want you to start doing devotionals. Well, I knew it was the voice of God, not audible, but to my heart, to my spirit. I knew it was the voice of God. And immediately I obeyed him. The very next day, I sat right over there in my living room in the chair and did a simple devotion. I didn't even have the name of it yet. I didn't know, but I got a lot of positive reactions. And it was a confirmation to me right before COVID hit, where the schools were not yet shut down, but within a week or two after that, they were shut down. And that was a confirmation to my heart. Of course, that was God's voice speaking it to me. That time is running out. I call this devotion called because it says in Matthew 22:14, for many are called, but few are chosen. You see, God wants everyone in the world to be saved, but not everyone will hear the gospel. That's up to me and you to tell them, isn't it? And even those that do hear the gospel, not all of them will obey. That's their choice, not ours. And then when we become born again, he calls each of us out to be ministers of sorts. You don't have to be an ordained minister, but you need to be used by God to get the gospel out, to tell other people. And that night he spoke to me in this closet was another turn of direction in this ministry to help others like you watching to be uplifted by these devotionals, and I sure hope you are. Matthew 9:37 says, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Will you be one of those laborers that Jesus says the laborers are few? Will you be among those that will labor to get the gospel out? Finally, it says in Joel chapter 3, verse 14, multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near. In the valley of decision. Let me read that again as I close. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near. In the valley of decision. Will you make the decision to follow Jesus? And if you already have, then will you make another decision to get the gospel out? I know you might be busy too, just like I told God, well, God, I'm too busy to do these devotionals. But when God, and you know it's God, speaks it to your heart, you cannot tell him no, because truly there are multitudes right now in the valley of decision, and he just might use you. He might be calling you to reach that one, or very, very many, even multitudes. Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. You've been watching Moments with Jill Walker. God bless you today.